About 15 minutes out of Canterbury on the railway line where the cutting was, where we just saw before, is a old hut featuring a lot of museum pieces. Let's go have a look.
I'll read you the first one, Crash, if it helps. So here we have memories of the Burma-Thai Railway. Mostly Western people call it the Thai-Burma Railway, but here locals are calling it the Burma-Thai Railway. We have a year there of the Thai year of 2374. We'll get a translation on what year that was for Westerners later on. Memories of the Thai-Burma Railway. It says here, Australian prisoners of war, in this photograph, putting down sleepers and laying lines. This work was done quickly over flat country, but there was little of that in Burma and Thailand. When the lines were laid to a bridge or cutting, pressure on the prisoners always intensified. The Japanese engineers then began speedo tactics, bashing proliferated men, were overworked mercilessly up to 18 hours at a stretch. This is not the only one.
No, only one photo.
Yeah, there's one thing you know about it. How did you know about it?
Google Map and some
But was
people
it attached to the temple, or was it the actual location?
attached to the temple.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So if people want to visit this Kirani, they look for the temple. Is that right? The temple has this attached to it. What's the temple called?
Tham Pla.
Tampla Temple.
It's nice cafe up there too. Okay, วัดถ้ำเขาปูน วัดถ้ำเขาปูน The museum tomorrow doesn't have this door.
Doesn't?
So when you look closely at these, you'll find that some of them are just calculators. This one over here. There are only numbers on there. This looks like you've got a C for clear button. Looks a little bit modern. It's even got a barcode on the top. That's an English typewriter, the only one of its kind through here. This here looks like the next one along looks like a very old calculator. This is a calculator as well with a brand name that I don't recognise, Facet. This here, so if you just stay with this one here, this is a typewriter, but look closely to see what language is on there. Put a light on there. You'll see that I can only see Thai language on there. Was it used during World War II? It most certainly looks old enough to have been used during that era. But was typewriter technology available? I don't know. That's a calculator, but obviously it was printing off. This too here is a calculator. There are too many calculators here to think that they did not come from this area. So there was obviously some calculations going on. It's possible this is Japanese technology that was being used to calculate the engineering around here. But the most remarkable thing here is that this is not even on Google Maps. So Westerners would only come across this if a local told them or if they stumbled across the area. And there's some amazing So part of this amateur exhibition, but it's well put together, it's written perfectly, in perfect English. This here is what the prisoners of war slept on, which is bamboo. So they've utilised, the Japanese have asked them to utilise the local resources, and this is similar to what they slept on. Now, sleeping up a little bit high off the ground is good because you get a little bit of a draft, so that might have been welcome for the prisoners of war. But I'll just read you this here. So we're going to Hellfire Pass on Anzac Day 2024. We've never been there before. There's an Anzac Dawn service that will be held by the Australian and the New Zealand government. So I'll just read you the importance of Hellfire Pass. According to this documentation that was, I get the impression was maybe assembled here in the 1950s or maybe the 1960s. And there's some photographs here that were just pointed out to me that we've never seen before in some museums in Australia or here in Thailand. The cutting at Kong Yu, known as Hellfire Pass, over 500 yards long and up to 80 feet high, it claimed the lives of many prisoners of war. Work on the cutting began on the 25th of April 1943 when men of T Battalion of D Force were halted at the site and half of them put to work building a camp in virgin bamboo jungle, while the other half began the gargantuan task, so big task, of making the cutting with hand drills, picks and shovels, baskets and dynamite. Rail laying parties reached the cutting in June 1943, and more prisoners, including the fittest of O and P battalions, Newton's U battalion of D Force, a battalion of H Force and some British prisoners arrived. Hours of work lengthened to 18 hours a day, and this continued for about 6 weeks until the cutting was completed. While it was being made, 68 men were beaten to death. Hellfire Pass.
Just back for a final look, we've just spoken to our Thai expert. This is the Japanese soldiers here, not surrendering, but just happy. They're happy that they're taking the photo and they're enjoying their day. This here is the actual bridge over the River Kwai area, and that's the bombing of the actual bridge of the River Kwai.
You can see the other one, so the bomb, after the bomb, how big it is.
Oh, really?
Separate the shell, rice.
Right, and what can you tell me about this photo?
So it's get break by the bomb, so
Yeah.
now they cut it, and you can see in the middle of the bridge they chain. It's not the same design like this one. It's other
Yep.
thing, right? So.
And this is the main car park of the temple area. That's a temple there. And to get to the World War II Pictorial Museum, it's just up that path there. So locate this sign, locate that sign, on the left of the temple, and up you go. About 100 metres. Can't miss it.